Hey everyone, this is Jordan Ross. I am the founder of Eight Figure Agency and of Talos. We are a agency consultancy that helps you scale with systems, processes, management, and we also help build your Airtable systems and processes. So if you're looking to scale Eight Figure Agency or Talos, we are your go-to people. Today we got a really special guest, my first client I've ever brought onto the show, Madison Hetherington, founder of Propel Marketing. I really want to highlight before we actually start this conversation, this girl's a fucking badass. I met Madison. We met, I think, Q1. So my first text to you was in July, but I know we texted way before
Yeah,
that.
we talked before that.
Yeah. When I had my first conversation with you, I was blown the fuck away because I was like, this girl has the secret sauce. Like, I talked to hundreds of agency owners, and you were the one of those people and I told you this. I was like, you are the legit. So part of that was you had a waiting list of small town businesses. Most people go broke trying to build an agency for small town businesses. So for everyone that doesn't know you, doesn't know Propel Marketing, doesn't know what you guys do, who's Madison, who's Propel, and when you share that, how did you get that early run of success where you had a fucking waiting list?
Yeah, well, thank you. What an intro. Wow.
What an intro,
I'm
right?
flattered. But yeah, I'm Madison. I'm the founder of Propel Marketing Co. We launched it in January. And since then, it's had a lot of momentum, and we specialize in social media marketing. We also provide web design, brand consultations, all that good stuff. But social media marketing is our special sauce that we offer. So we launched that in January. And like you said, we've had a wait list all year, which is, I'm from a really small town.
Crazy.
There's
Crazy.
100,000 people is the population of Chatham Kent. So I'm from a small city, a small community, and we had a wait list. And I feel like what I kind of attest that success to in that wait list was finding a niche. And a lot of people I think are scared to find a niche because it means you feel like you're limiting yourself. But that's not the case. And that obviously it paid out because we had this wait list because we found a niche. And the way I look at it is I think you can't be everything to everyone. And I think when you try to be that, you don't actually apply to anyone. So we found a niche, and what kind of some key parts of our business is we only work with Chatham Kent businesses right now. So I think when you find a niche, you can always expand, but I think it's so important to find that niche and really appeal to the people that are in that,
In
your
the niche, in the audience. Yeah.
yeah, so we only work with Chatham Kent businesses. Our whole mission behind Propel is propelling the community, propelling the economy, propelling
Mm,
local businesses.
hence Propel. Okay.
Hence Propel. So yeah, we really feel like it's our tool to do that is through improving the branding and marketing of our local businesses. And then I just feel like there's this propel effect that we've run with instead of a ripple effect, it's a propel effect. And then I think that, helps the community grow as a whole. So we only work with Chatham Kent businesses. So you might think, whoa, you're really limiting yourself. And I'll take it even a step further, but we only work with one client per industry. So we've really defined finding a niche. Like it's a really small niche that we found.
Wow.
But because of that, we really resonated with those people in that niche. They feel our story. We are so passionate about our story and our mission, and I think they feel that. And I found a lot of value in finding this niche, and it's definitely paid off. And I feel like that's a really big part of why we had a wait list.
Mm. So for those of you who missed that, social media marketing agency working in one town, only working with one business per industry. And here are some stats that Madison had when she joined us. She was able to double in not only revenue, but also in team size in 60 days, right? So this is the power of the niche where your biggest thing is your impact, like impact. And that's mine too, right? Like I'm a big believer, like what you put out comes back in tenfold. So when I
Totally.
started this business, I envisioned a community of purpose-driven entrepreneurs, purpose-driven agency owners who were very heart-centered. And that not I targeted agencies, but in the back of my mind, that's been part of my content, my messaging. I talk about manifesting. I talk about consciousness and the people that end up becoming inbound leads or referrals, like Tyler Mullins referred you to us, they refer who they're similar to. So I think what you've done is amazing beyond just the niche, but you've really picked a core mission that scaled. And I mean, I told you from day one, you were legit. You are the real deal. And I remember in our first conversation with you and Zach, I said, what would success be like in 12 months? And then I think you gave me a response. I was like, double it. Like
Yes,
you're not
that's
thinking big enough.
true. And
Um,
that was actually a huge thing that I think really I owe a lot of my success to that first phone call, because that, like, yeah, you were what I said for the year, you're like, yeah, we're gonna do that in a month by December. And I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't really the plan, but let's do it. Let's game on. So I feel like that was a huge mindset switch for me. And I think if you know, I'm fortunate I have a lot of those people in my circle that push me to think bigger. But if you don't have that, having a coach that pushes you and is like, nope, this is what we're doing by December, you know, I can't even attest to like how much that advice was worth, because my mindset switch now is wrapped around
Immediately.
making that happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not going around just being like, oh, what's your goals? Double it. It's really based on you. Like, you really are a freaking rock star. So kudos to you. Um, but I want to kind of go back to the start of your journey a little bit, because a lot of agency owners are listening like, okay, if I just niche, I'm not going to be able to get a wait list of clients that are literally waiting for me to be ready to work with them. You really do have the golden goose. Like, every agency owner would kill for your situation. Get technical with me. Did you just go kind of bootstrap? Like, did you build a list, start networking? Did you ask for referrals? Like, what was the outside of the niche and outside of just getting your first client or two? Like, what happened that enabled that to actually happen? Because people, that's the getting your first 5, 10 clients is the hardest thing. Because once you get that and once you get momentum, then it could be easier. So, how'd you actually get to the point by when I met you, you're like 4 or 5 months into journey, you literally have a wait list and you have to tell people, hey, like, no, I'll come to you when I'm ready.
Yeah.
How'd that-
Yeah, I think, well, it's kind of funny because I wanted to showcase how well we were at social media marketing. So we've actually only done social media marketing even still. So,
Beautiful.
and we haven't really needed to because we have that wait list. So we actually like pretty much put the pause on sales, and then we slowed marketing, like social media marketing, down a lot because we just didn't have the demand. Like I was almost scared to get more demand and be like, I'm sorry, I can't take you on right now. So yeah, we wanted to really showcase what we were capable of doing with social media marketing because that's what we're selling. So we're like,
Yeah, you
if I'm
should.
if I'm saying this is what's working, I think it shows a lot that we've built this business solely through
On
social media
social.
marketing. So yeah, do not underestimate the power of social media marketing. That's all we did, and we created a kick-ass launch campaign. I think that was a really big part of it. You know, getting people to share it locally, sharing your story through social media marketing is huge. You know, we've got a really strong vision and mission that we're trying to create here. So communicating that and selling people on your story, because people love stories and they can tell if you're genuine or not. You know, like my clients can feel that I genuinely want to build this community and I care about it. And I mean, we've turned down like hundreds of thousands of dollars from clients outside of Chatham Kent because we are so passionate on
About
building Chatham Kent. So I think, find, if you don't have a vision or a mission, find it and like really dig deep into what that means and then sell that, you know, and
mm,
share that and share that messaging through your social media.
I couldn't agree more. When I think about my business, right? Our entire business has come off the back of LinkedIn and Twitter, right? I don't know where your social strategy is taking place. I'd imagine Facebook might be a relevant
Big
platform.
Instagram.
Big
Instagram
Instagram.
are the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that, and that I knew it was Facebook, wasn't sure Instagram. What is leveraging social mean? Because I'll tell you what mine means real quick for leveraging social. Because when we actually train agencies on this, because we're booking 60 to 80 calls a month now, and like people see there like, how the fuck are you doing that? I'm like, post a lot of content, engage with a lot of people, and then when people follow me on Twitter specifically, we start conversations, and then on LinkedIn, we start conversations, and then we consistently post value added content. So like I could go super specific, but like, what does social media marketing mean for you on those two platforms? Like, what outside of sharing your story and sharing your mission do you do that has created demand?
Yeah. So I'm way more a marketer than I am a salesperson. So what I do is what I would want to say to someone or what objection handling I would want to do, I say it through marketing.
Oh my god, it's brilliant.
So it's actually hilarious because it's almost like back when we used to like subtweet people. That's what I do for clients that I just had a meeting with. So whatever they were like telling me, oh, we're a little bit nervous of like taking you on as a social media marketer. We kind of want someone in house. So then the whole next week, all my content is why it's better to hire us than someone in house. So it's actually kind of fun, and I find it's a way more.
Oh my fuck! I just had a huge light bulb moment. Keep going. This is sick.
Yeah, I find that works really well. And like, I'm not a very confrontational person. So it's way easier for me to get on and market that than to be in, you know, a
On
bit
a
in your
sales
face
call.
and say that because I'm way more a marketer. So That's a big thing, is whatever objection handles,
Oh,
address it on, address it through marketing. Another thing was showcasing your competency. So whatever you're trying to sell, so I'm constantly on there showcasing that I know what I'm talking about with marketing. I want people to look at my page and be like, damn, this girl's smart when it comes to marketing. So I'm constantly on there giving free tips, free advice, free marketing insight, just to convince people that, they can trust me because they can, and I know what I'm doing.
I'm literally gonna fucking take notes right now. Like that's not. So here's why this is so brilliant. I think one of the things I learned on Twitter from Wiz of Ecom, for those of you guys who are on Twitter who know him, he has a posting schedule, and he has every Monday he posts this types of content. Every Wednesday he does this. And one of the light bulb moments I'm hearing from you, I need to have, so like if you guys are hearing this, I'm gonna let you know how I'm digesting it so you can make it applicable for you. I'm probably gonna pick 1 or 2 days a week where that post that day of the week and that slot, it will just be that slot's dedicated to that type of post, will be the free. We don't get objections, we get frequently asked questions and some objections, so it will be for that. So every week we'll have that. And then for you, one thing I don't do a really good job of, which I'm starting to be more conscious of, is highlighting our wins. So our case studies, like instead of it for you, it's like just showing that you're great at social media marketing. For us, it's like showing we're great at operations. We do that through case studies. We can also do it for hours. So like same thing, I need to put a block in my content calendar and just churn it. So wow, you really are fucking good at this shit, Madison. So kudos. So okay, I think that's going to be massively valuable for everyone listening. Here's where I want to take the conversation next. So what we've been doing with you is we've been positioning your ascension, right? When we came in, you had 4 people. You're now at 9 people. We're going to go even beyond that, because for me, the biggest impact I make that I'm most proud of is my team.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'll give you a quick story. I think you're really going to love this. Justin, who's my director of operations and customer success, I think you know him. Definitely know him. He told me he wants a black Tesla. I asked him like, hey man, what's the ideal car you want? Like, what's your dream car? He said black Tesla. And I shipped him through Amazon a black Tesla toy car. And I wrote a note, this is my commitment to get you that car. And I've done that shit with Zach too. So I share that because you going from 4 to 9, I know that's something that means the world to you. And I also share that sentiment. So that's why I share that story. But what are the things that we've been doing together that have allowed you to position now for that next stage and even get here? Like, what are all the things that we've built together that you think have really made an impact in your ability as an entrepreneur, but then 2, your ability to have the capacity to take on more clients?
Oh my gosh, I can't even begin. Like, I feel like every week I'm coming and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm struggling with today. And then it takes a whole direction, and it's amazing. I think like my sales pitch before was like laughable. Like it was bad. And Zach's been able to, create a system, get that, like lock that down, make sure that I'm feeling confident with it. Now I feel really professional when I come to sales pitches. So like sales pitch is huge. I mean, the simplest things, I feel it's nice to have someone like a backboard to talk things through, and just a conversation with the client. He will break down a 5-step process of what that conversation with that client's going to look like, and then I feel a lot more professional coming through. The client feels like it was handled well. Those little things go such a long way, and I just feel like it's given me such a good foundation and example of how I want to move forward. Internal systems, we've completely like went through my whole internal system and went through every single part of from start, like from acquiring
the customer journey.
Yes, and that's been a game changer, because just visually seeing that, I'm like, oh, there's a gap here. We're not doing this. And then going in with Zach and fixing those and fine tweaking them and reviewing them and getting his input, that's been huge. I think just really the best way I could describe it is setting the foundation, like having a really strong foundation so that we're prepped and primed to grow. Because that's something that I was really cognizant of, is I didn't want to grow. Like I said, we have a wait list. So our numbers could have been skyrocketed like yesterday. But the thing is, I didn't want to do that if it wasn't sustainable.
If you weren't going to execute on it.
Yeah. And the quality is huge for me, especially because we have this strong mission. If we're just numbers oriented, we could have had all these clients on and we could have taken them on and made the money, whatever. But it's not about that for me. It's about genuinely helping these businesses, genuinely growing them and propelling them, dare I say. But so that was really important to me, is having these sustainable systems so that we can scale. And I don't even feel like we've scaled yet. Like I feel like we're just setting this ground foundation to
we're still doing it. Yeah. I mean, we attract who we are. So like what you're saying is what I say too, right? And
Mhm.
obviously you're working with Zach. So for everyone who doesn't know Zach, he's my business partner. He's one of the four consultants on the ADEF team. But I see so often agencies, they just want to break that broke mindset. So I'm making 10K, 20, 30, 50K, whatever number is, where they're running away from the fear of feeling broke or like going out of business. So they take on more than they're ready to handle, right? So this is an unconscious thing that's playing in the background, but they're running away from trying to like feel scarce financially. They take on too many clients. And what ends up happening is their churn goes really high. And the number one thing that's more viral than good marketing success is bad word of mouth. That is
Yes.
the most viral thing ever. So I actually think what you're saying is one of the wisest things you can do, because it takes a lot of discipline and just a lot of confidence in yourself and who you are in your journey. Like this is almost like, dare I say, like the spiritual journey here. Like you're willing to delay your gratification to say yes. And I think for everyone listening, like this is a huge, huge like point that really want to highlight. So I'm looking at the clock. I think you've dropped a lot of golden nuggets here. For everyone that is listening, they're like, okay, I need to niche down, really hard, like hone in on social media marketing and really just handle objections and have a good content schedule sharing success stories. What do you want to leave them with outside of that component of the conversation that I think will make a big impact to a lot of people? If there's one last thing you think that they should be taking their attention towards that has impacted you, what would that one thing be?
I think it's just having a deep mission and vision for your business, having a deeper purpose. Because I
Mm,
think that was something, a mindset switch that I had to do really early on. Because when you're making more money than you've made in the past, it's easy to get caught up in that. But I was like, I had to stop myself. And I'm like, I need to be, focus on why I started this in the first place,
there it
focus
is.
on deeper
Mission.
purpose, because I think it shows it comes through, right? Like I think if I was just money focused, it's going to come through to clients, and
Yeah.
it's not going to stick. They're not going to want to work with me. I think, you're having a bigger impact, you're invested in it more, and I think that whatever you put out there comes back to you, and that's the way that I look at it. So that was a really big thing is, if you're having amazing success or if you're not, don't get caught up in that, because I think I don't know, money gets old, money gets boring. I think you need to have a
It's
big
the most
purpose.
abundant resource in the world. Literally, they print more of it every day.
Right, exactly. So it's like you need to find a deeper purpose that gets you out of bed in the morning and keeps you up at night, that helps you, day after day when it gets hard. You need to have a why, you need to have a really deep purpose and
Mm,
reason why you do what you do.
well fucking said. I mean, we said at the beginning of the call that I honestly forget that that's part of my story too. I forget that you and I, Madison, are the anomalies, that we wake up excited every day, that we're excited to impact people. And I think one of the halo effects of that, you attract people with a mission too. Like
Mhm.
great talent wants to work for great companies, and one of the things that great companies have is a mission. So our purpose is to change the way the world works. What you typically see in businesses, so the antithesis of your business, not what your business is bad operations, which creates fires and stress. You have bad management because they don't have the time to take care of their people because they're stressed about their operations. And then you have bad culture because it's a shit fucking storm. That creates bad energy and stress within the employees and the founders. They bring that home, whether it's their roommates, their friends, their spouses, their family, their community, and it doesn't elevate. So like my biggest mission is to help elevate the collective consciousness. The way we do that is by changing the way the world works. But that inspires me every day, kind of like your mission to propel your local community. And then I see it, you going from one community to the next community, right? Like you could literally change the world with your purpose and your mission. So I just want to acknowledge that and thank you for
Thank
that
you.
energy. For everyone that is listening, they're like, this chick's fucking awesome. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's Propel Marketing Co. And that's our ad.
Beautiful. Madison, thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll talk to you soon.
This is so
Cheers.
fun.